Welcome to Global Economic Press, where we deliver trusted global finance and economic news, analysis, and reports, empowering leaders and investors with reliable, timely insights. I'm your host, Alex Brady. In today's episode, we delve into the evolving landscape of the gaming industry as it shifts from physical to digital-only game distribution. We'll explore the implications of this transition on pricing, accessibility, and the broader market dynamics. Join us as we unpack GAMIVO's latest analysis on this digital revolution. GAMIVO, a digital video game e-commerce platform, today announced the release of a new analysis examining how the gaming industry's shift away from physical game distribution could affect video game pricing and player access. The report explores the potential impact of digital-only distribution on developers, retailers, and consumers, including the possibility of more frequent promotions, lower launch prices through digital activation keys, and longer development timelines as studios no longer need to manufacture and distribute physical copies. Key takeaways from GAMIVO's analysis: market shift. Digital games account for up to 99% of personal computer sales and a vast majority of PlayStation sales. Developer impact. Eliminating physical disc production gives studios 2 to 3 extra months to polish titles before launch. Pricing dynamics. While base prices are rising, $70 and above, third-party digital platforms drive competition through daily discounts. Digital distribution revolutionized the personal computer gaming landscape in countless ways. Brick-and-mortar stores with boxed video games almost entirely disappeared, replaced by launchers letting players buy new titles in a few clicks. Even though the official release price tag didn't decrease, digital distribution opened the door for frequent promotions and e-commerce platforms that offer discounted games on a daily basis. Moreover, thanks to digital distribution, older games remain easily accessible, usually for just a few dollars. It has also been a blessing for independent developers who gained a way to bring their games directly to players. Gamers love convenient solutions, so it's not a surprise that digital distribution absolutely dominated the personal computer market in only about 20 years. According to some research, as much as 9% of personal computer video games nowadays are sold digitally. However, this shift hasn't been restricted to just computers. Console players tend to pick digital versions over physical copies too. Currently, boxed versions constitute only about 15 to 20% of PlayStation game sales, points out Andre Bazil-Chuk, Public Relations and Content Manager at GAMIVO. Console manufacturers understand this trend, so current generation consoles are available in versions without a disk drive. Paradoxical situations where physical boxes are sold empty or don't have a place for a disk are also not uncommon. Digital distribution nurtures competition. Although players' preferences are obvious, they cherish the fact that they have a choice that will disappear as soon as physical versions are discontinued. The fact that digital copies can't be resold seems to be the gravest concern. Today, many console players buy used copies and resell them after completing the game. Thus, they don't build massive game libraries, but can play relatively new titles without paying full price. According to GAMIVO's analysis, the departure from physical copies can have positive effects. For instance, developers will have more time to polish their games. Currently, the final build of the game has to be ready about 2 to 3 months before the release. Thanks to digital distribution, most of this time can be used to polish the game or add some content that otherwise would be available as downloadable content or cut completely. It can cause additional bugs, but even now, console games are usually fixed with day-one patches. Chances are that the budget that would be spent on logistics can go into game development, allowing studios to expand the scope or hire additional staff. Most players are afraid that the upcoming change will force them to pay full price. It's a reasonable concern as new console games cost $70 and the upcoming Grand Theft Auto 6 raises this price tag by another $10. However, GAMIVO experts suggest that selling Sony games only in the form of digital activation keys can have the exact opposite effect. Currently, PlayStation 5 players save mostly on occasional sales and by reselling their games. We believe that the full focus on digital distribution can allow retailers to compete on price, making the PlayStation market more similar to Xbox and personal computer, remarks the GAMIVO representative. PlayStation can join personal computer and Xbox. Currently on GAMIVO and similar platforms, PlayStation games are far less popular than Xbox and personal computer titles. The universal digital distribution can change this situation. According to Andrei Bazalchuk, a scenario in which promotions are far more frequent and overall day one prices are lower can compensate for losing the ability to resell games. It will also allow gamers to build broader video game libraries. He also points out that digital distribution eliminates issues like stores running out of stock and games becoming unavailable. The decision to move away from standard distribution is a revolution, no doubt, but our analyses indicate that its effect won't necessarily be bad for gamers, concludes the GAMIVO representative.